All right, so it is that time of the show where we get to our top 5 NFL spread bets for what hopefully is a beautiful Sunday. Tanner and I have been giving out a lot of winners here recently. The games this week, maybe not the most intriguing from a football fan perspective, but everything's always interesting and fun when you get to bet on them. You got some good picks lined up here, Tanner?
I do have some good picks lined up, and this week's pretty bad. This could be the worst slate of the week as far as just like a viewing. Like, I want to watch these games because I'm interested in the storylines of them. We do have Aaron Rodgers going to Green Bay.
Green Bay coming to Pittsburgh.
Green Bay coming to Pittsburgh, so that'll be an interesting game. Then we have Commanders and Chiefs, which I guess becomes a little less interesting, but still a good matchup now. If looking
if
with the
Jaylen
Chiefs
plays,
but even if Jaylen doesn't play, you still can the Chiefs keep it going? Are the Chiefs this team? And are they Rashee Rice obviously popping off last week? So there's a few storylines we care about here.
Yeah, Rashee Rice. Did you see the video going around on Twitter of him celebrating?
What he got in like the golf cart. The golf cart started driving.
It was an AI video, but a little Marshawn Lynch style, driving the golf cart around.
Just side note, these AI videos are crazy. What you can do with some of these things. I mean, they look so real until just you get refs making out with Patrick Mahomes, but the build up to that actually looks really real.
It did. I thought it was a legitimate video from the game, but once I saw him hop on, I said, okay, this isn't real. But I thought it was real for a couple seconds there. My mom sent me a video of what was it? It was a 1950s rendition of Eminem's "Without Me." And she was like, "Oh, this is so funny, haha." And I said, "Yeah, some of those AI videos are great." And she said, "Wait, this is AI?" I said, "Mom, who's sitting around in their free time making a 1950s Eminem "Without Me" remix?" Like, yes, someone did it on a computer, but yes, that is an AI video.
Definitely. Grant, do you want to get us started here? Or you want me to get us started?
You know what? I'll take the lead here.
Okay.
So I will go. Which one of these do I think you didn't include? I'll take a guess. I'll take the Chicago Bears +7 against the Baltimore Ravens. So the Ravens are getting all their dudes back. Lamar's coming back from his injury. But this is my thing with the Ravens. They've been awful this year. They got one win. They have the worst defense their franchise has ever had at this point in the season. One of the worst defenses in the NFL. They might lead the NFL in points allowed per game. So I get it. They're coming off of a bye week. Lamar's coming back. Everything's great, but they've given me nothing. If they had played well here and there, if they were 3-4 instead of 1-6 or whatever their record is, if they had beat the Chiefs, if they had won 37-20 instead of losing, maybe I would feel different because I saw it this season. I saw them play great. I still think they can be a good team. I know they've got the talent there to do it, but they haven't done it on the field at any point this season. Meanwhile, Ben Johnson, the impact he's had on this Chicago team, specifically the offense, he's doing a phenomenal job. Caleb Williams' inaccuracy does scare me. I know Bears fans are high on themselves, and as they should be. They're on a 4-game winning streak. Caleb's still missing a ton of throws, but Ben Johnson is still finding a way to put him in the offense in a way to succeed. DeAndre Swift, back-to-back weeks with 100-plus rushing yards. So can they lose by 6 points and still cover the spread? Yes, they can. So I like the Bears.
I like the Bears as well. I think, when I was going through the Ravens schedule here, they really need to – they can only lose 3 games when you think about it. 3 games is kind of the safe spot for them. 9-8 still doesn't get you in, but it gives you a chance. You can only lose 2 games and give yourself a legitimate, I'm in the playoffs. 10-7 will get you in. So this is a tough stretch for them. I think the Ravens are going to come out and play well. I don't know. I think they're going to figure out a way to turn it up a little bit. I don't think it comes this week. I think they win, but do not cover. But I'm still high on the Ravens. I still think they can make the playoffs. This is a must-win game for them. Lamar was not great at practice. I think he was out on Monday. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here with him. But they have to win. I just don't trust them to win by 7 right now.
You want to know something crazy? The Ravens what are they? Are they 1-5?
Yep.
And the Steelers are 5-2. The Steelers are 4-2. Ravens are 1-5. The Ravens are favored to win the AFC North.
They still are?
Still are. +130 to the Steelers at +135.
Well, what do you think the Steelers are going to finish? That's the question.
Well, the Steelers have won more games already than I thought they were going to. Now, they did have a very easy start to the year. They've got Packers, Colts, at Chargers, Bengals, at Bears, Bills, at Ravens, Dolphins, at Lions, at Browns, Ravens. So if the Ravens do figure it out, say the Ravens go 2-0 in those games, you've got Packers, Colts, Bills, Lions in that mix. There could only be maybe like 4 more wins on the schedule for the Steelers, even though they're 4-2.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And the Ravens, I don't know if the Ravens are going to get in or not. Do you think they're going to get in?
I have. It's so hard for me to say that a team is 1-5 is going to get in the playoffs, but like they've got Lamar, they've got talent, they could do it.
It's going to be very, very hard, I think, for them to get it done. I don't think they're a championship team this year, even if they get in. The fact that you got to beat Mahomes and you got to beat Josh Allen, and the Bills aren't even that good. Let's start by saying that the Chiefs are by far the best team right now. I don't think anyone's going to go on the road and beat the Chiefs. So for the Ravens against the Chiefs, if that matchup did happen, that game would be at Arrowhead. So we'll see.
So you said you're taking the Bears too. Is that on your card, or do you have a? Okay, give me one of your picks.
I like the Bengals minus 6.5 against the New York Jets. I imagine we're going to get Tyrod Taylor starting at quarterback this week for the Jets. Justin Fields is extremely washed up. They look so much better with Tyrod Taylor in the offense throwing the football than they did with Justin Fields on the field. Now, the question is, can Tyrod Taylor do enough? Maybe he can to cover, but the fact of the matter is he still threw a lot of bad passes. He was picked off twice. The receiving talent's not great. Running the football, they just don't have a consistent offense. Like you could give these guys the ball on the 40-yard line and you can't trust them to score points. That's the problem here. So when I'm looking at the Bengals, they at least have the best receiving duo in the NFL with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Joe Flacco gives them a better chance to win than Jake Browning. He was fantastic last Thursday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he's going to be able to get the ball to his guys in space, where the Jets defense is good. It's not great. Just numbers wise, I think they've been stacked, backs against the wall so many times because their offense this year. But I think the Bengals are going to be able to score enough points to cover this. And if the Bengals get to, let's say 21 points, I don't necessarily trust the Jets to get 17. And 21 points is something that, it's very doable to cover 6.5, but I just can't trust Tyrod Taylor to put up 17 points, which is what they would need to cover the 6.5, because 21-14, obviously, you're getting in a situation where the Bengals still cover.
So before I respond to anything you said, I'm going to just throw some duos at you, because you said T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are the best receiving duo in the NFL. You like them better than Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison?
Yes.
You like them better than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith?
Yes.
You like them better than CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens?
Yes.
You like them better than Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got. I think that's everybody.
Don't you? Yeah. Don't you? Wait, with Joe Burrow in there?
I think so. I think I'm getting a little recency bias from how well Pickens has played. Pickens has been sensational this year, by the way. So shout out to George Pickens, but that is just this year. From body of work, I would give it to the Bengals.
I mean, with Joe Flacco in there, I might not say they're the best receiving duo in the NFL, but if Joe Burrow in there, they're that good. So I mean, they're right up. Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson don't even cross my mind when I think about receiver duos. We were talking about that earlier. Jordan Addison is just a quiet receiver number 2, but he's really good. He's not T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. So we were talking about T. Higgins being a wide receiver 1 somewhere. I don't think about Jordan Addison like that.
The thing with the Rams too, I mean, Devontae Adams is still really effective. He's still going to come up with touchdowns. Puka could be now. Is Puka as talented as Jefferson, as Chase? No, but Puka was on pace. I know he got injured, but Puka was out producing them, and Puka's the best blocking receiver in the NFL. So he holds weight in this conversation.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm not if I'm drafting on the schoolyard and I'm picking out who I want, I'm not taking Puka Nacua first.
No way. It's
right,
easily Jefferson and Chase. What game were? Oh, you were talking about the Bengals. I'm going to stay away from this just because I don't know how Flacco, I know what Flacco was for the last couple of years. Sometimes you would get those highs. Sometimes he just hands the ball to the other team, turns it over. I don't know if that's because he was with the Browns and they're dysfunctional. Maybe he's actually been good these last few years, and now he's got the receivers to prove it. I don't know. I'm just going to stay away from this one. My next game, you'll appreciate this as a Patriots guy. I'll take the Patriots -7. I would look around, see if you can get them for 6.5 because you always want to get below that touchdown line if you can. But I will take them against the Cleveland Browns. So the Browns have really showcased something recently because they've gotten back to the version of themselves that they've gotten back to the version of themselves that was on the cusp of being good. They have the elite defense. They have the really strong running game. They're just missing the quarterback. So they're back to that stage at the very least. The problem is they're going against one of the hottest players in the entire NFL, Drake May, top 5 MVP candidate easily at this point in the season. And then on the flip side, the Patriots defense isn't great, but it is great against the run. If you look at scoring efficiency, their ability to stay ahead of the chains, third down, all that stuff, yards per carry, they're very, very good. And this Cleveland offense wants to get Quinshon Judkins to generate the explosive plays. They're not going to generate them with Dillon Gabriel at quarterback. Gabriel might not turn the ball over, but he's also not going to move the ball down the field. So while Drake May might throw an interception, heck, maybe even 2 in this game, if he does that, the Browns are going to get to 14 points maybe, and the Patriots can easily get to 21 even if May turns the ball over. He's just been that good throwing the ball deep down the field. So as long as Ramondre Stevenson doesn't rub his hands in butter before the game, I think the Patriots have a really good chance to cover.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat here. This is one of my plays. I look at the Browns every week when they play an explosive offense. I think back to the game against the Lions. They're really good on defense. They're going to be able to hold as long as they can, but they can't hold long enough to be within 7 points here. I think the Patriots, this could be a really close game going into the third quarter. Eventually the Patriots are going to break out and score. Dillon Gabriel coming off a big win last week. It was really Quinshon Judkins who just took over. The Dolphins are a trash football team. I don't really look at that one and say they're going to be able to come here and play well. As long as the Patriots can handle the Browns front 7, I think they're going to be just fine in this game and hold on to the football. If you don't shoot yourselves in the foot, if you just have Drake May keep playing like he's been playing, I think they're going to be fine. Now, I do worry about the Patriots. One of these easy games in the stretch, they're going to lose. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I highly doubt they're going to be perfect in this easy game stretch that they have. This could be one where they slip up. You never know. I just don't necessarily see it with Dillon Gabriel playing quarterback for the Browns and the fact that they just can't score enough points to keep up.
Well, speaking about them losing one of these games, you wouldn't expect them to. They got a taste of that last week because they were down 13-10 against the Titans. Looked like going into halftime, they put together a really quick scoring drive, get a touchdown on the board going into halftime. So they're actually up 17-13. This is on the road, again, against a sleeper team that had only won one game. This is an obvious letdown spot. I had actually taken the Titans at +7.5 last week, so I was feeling really good about it. Obviously, I was disappointed. They let up that late touchdown, but then they come out and the Patriots totally dominate the second half. And to me, that was a sign of the Vrabel effect. I know we talk about Vrabel not really proving himself in the NFL aside from one run, maybe you even call it a fluke to the AFC Championship game. I don't call it a fluke, but some people would. But that was a sign where it's like, guys, trap game, you're falling to it, you're falling victim to it. Wake up, get your head out of you know what? We're going to come out here and we're going to dominate the second half. And they did that. So I think Vrabel has proven he can get his team to respond when he needs them to. So I have confidence against them. I don't think it's a letdown spot.
I totally agree with that. I just think they're going to lose one of these games, and I don't know which one it's going to be. I don't see it as a 7-point favorite, though, at home against the Cleveland Browns, who can't score. But Grant, we're both through 2. You're on 3. I feel like we're going to have a lot of the same picks this week. I just don't know why. The board's telling me that. So what's your third pick here? And we'll see if we have the same one.
I would be shocked if you have this one because I know you hate this team. And heck, I hate this team too. I'll take the Dolphins at +7.5 against the Falcons. So this is this is the thing about the Dolphins. I mean, they suck. Tua sucks. McDaniel sucks. Tua is blaming people for not showing up to meetings, and then former players are saying they didn't show up because they don't respect you. Tua is literally handing the ball to the Browns. Mike McDaniel, after Quinn Ewers gets his first plays of his NFL career, McDaniel's not even talking to him on the sideline. Everything is going wrong for them. However, let's not forget, everything was going wrong for them going into that Chargers game. They were winning with 40 seconds left, I think on the road. I think they were in LA. No, they were at home, but even still only lost by 2 points. they did cover when they played the Bills. This is a team that has proven it can be competitive. They do still have some talent. And are the Falcons, this is a big question when you're looking at a 7.5 point line. Falcons got to win by 2 scores. Are they going to pull away from the Dolphins? The Dolphins defense sucks, but the Falcons have been very inconsistent on offense this year. They've hit some high highs, which is good because they're starting to unlock it with Penix, but low lows. They should have beat the Buccaneers. They go on the road. They win 22-6 against the Vikings. Then they get blown out 30-0 against the Panthers. Then they beat the Commanders. Penix has a career high, beat the Bills, double back, score 10 points on the road. Look like you have no answers for the 49ers, who are down Fred Warner, who were down Nick Bosa, who lost Greenlaw, who lost Hufanga in free agency. That 49ers defense was decimated, and they scored 10 points. Looked like they had no clue. So, obviously, I think the Falcons are a better team than the Dolphins, but have they given me enough reason to trust them to win by 2 scores? They have not.
I haven't even looked at this play. Like, this one didn't even cross my eyes when I was looking at the board. I will say, if I had to pick a side, I will go with the Miami Dolphins plus 7.5. My fear with that is, has the locker room just totally given up? What are we going to get from the group coming out? The season's over. You're firing Mike McDaniel. When is that going to happen? What's going to happen? Tua is still okay, but he's not great. There's just so many things to go against the Dolphins here. With that being said, the Falcons should not be favored by 7.5 over anybody. Michael Penix is terrible, and the Falcons are not that good of a football team overall. So I would pick the Dolphins. I do like your logic there. I can't see Atlanta beating anybody by 2 scores. Obviously, they can win by 2 scores. I just don't see them doing it here because, one, Michael Penix is terrible at football.
Well, it's a shame. I'm a big Penix guy. At least I was.
This man has no pocket awareness. He has.
I was a big Penix guy.
The one thing he can't do here is take a sack. What's he going to do? Take a sack. That's the biggest. I think out of all the things that annoy me from the quarterback position, it's not like the interceptions, it's not the bad throws. It's like Baker does some things sometimes where you're trying to fit the ball into a window where it should never be thrown. But like the biggest issue I have with quarterbacks, the dumbest thing, the one thing you can't do here is take a sack. You just can't do it. And they do it. And Michael Penix does that a whole lot.
For me, it's refusing to accept the play is over, which kind of goes hand in hand with that. Mariota had the best example you'll ever see of it against the Cowboys. I don't know if you saw it. It was the pick 6 to Deron Bland.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
He broke like 6 tackles in the pocket. It was crazy. He looked like Marshawn Lynch. And it's like, dude, the play's over. Throw it away. Scramble and slide, do something. And he chucks it across his body, across the whole field, and it's a Deron Bland pick 6. It's like, man, you got to cut bait. The play was over. Leave it. Let it die. Live to see another day.
All right, Grant, you ready for my next pick here? This is a good one. I think you might have this one. All right, you either have it or you're going against it. I think this one's talking to you. But I will take the San Francisco 49ers minus 1.5. I'll take them on the money line because I don't want to worry about a 1.5 in the NFL, but I'll take them on the money line here against the Houston Texans. The Texans cannot score. They are an inconsistent offense. I don't know what we're going to get every time they take the field. On the flip side, at least for the 49ers, they've been cooking a little bit with Mac Jones at quarterback. No matter if it's Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, it doesn't matter. This team revolves around one man, and that is Christian McCaffrey. He was fantastic last week running the football, catching the football, doing it all from that position, and I think we're going to continue to see him do that. The San Francisco 49ers are obviously beat up on the defensive side of the ball. You don't have Bosa. You don't have Warner. But they're doing enough and they're playing good enough complementary football to show up. We saw it against the Falcons last week defensively. They made the plays when they had to make them. They made a lot of plays down the stretch. Offensively, they just played clock control. Mac Jones did turn the football over once. That score could have been even bigger in favor of the 49ers if he didn't do that here. And I just don't trust Houston. I think they're eventually going to fold too. I don't know when that's going to come, but CJ Stroud right now does not look good. Defensively, they are good. I just trust the 49ers realistically on offense more than I do for the Houston Texans.
I've got this one on my card too. For me, one of the biggest takeaways from their game against the Falcons was just the George Kittle effect. The offense just looked more seamless. Kittle is a tackle who's 250 pounds and can also be a receiver depending on when you need him to be. And that really opened up the running game for Christian McCaffrey. You saw that. I've said this numerous times now. I love DeMeco Ryans. I think he is a great coach. Houston's defense has been elite since they got there, but If there is a weakness to it, it is the running game. And we know that's what the 49ers are going to focus on. And they're not, the Texans have Stingley and they have Lassiter and Petrie, and they can do a phenomenal job if you want to go bombs away, but that's not the style of offense the 49ers play. So this does just set up well for them. And there have been spots already this season where it's like if CJ Stroud was the guy he was as a rookie, he would perform here. If the Texans are a legitimate playoff contender like they have been for recent years, this would be the game they prove it. And it hasn't happened.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Grant. We're on the same page. I knew we'd be on the same page for that. I knew we'd be there. So that was your fourth, right?
Yep, you're on number 4 now.
Okay. You don't have this one, I bet. And I don't think many people would, but I'll take the Tennessee Titans plus 14.5 at the Indianapolis Colts. Okay. You don't have that one, do you?
No chance.
All right. So last week, the theory of like the divisional dog getting double-digit points didn't work out with the Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs blew the Raiders off the field. The Tennessee Titans looked good against the Patriots early on. They were able to throw the football. Cam Ward looked okay early in the game. Obviously, he fell apart late. But realistically, if you don't have the strip sack fumble, the score is a lot closer than it is. That made a huge difference in the game. If you don't allow the big explosive plays down the field, it's a much closer game. When I'm looking at the Tennessee Titans, they need to be able to stop the run in this game. If you can just limit what Jonathan Taylor does, you put yourself in a position to at least cover the spread. Daniel Jones has been really good this season, but I don't think Daniel Jones is going to beat you. You need to worry about Jonathan Taylor. If you shut him down, you put yourself in a position to at least be close in this game. It's a divisional dog. It's 14 points. I know last week the fired coaches bump really didn't make a difference for them, but they came out hard. I think giving them another week after the fired coach bump could honestly help them in this spot, just because more time away from Brian Callahan, more time, just have some fun, relax, and say, we got nothing to lose. Let's go on the road. Let's try to keep this one close. 14 points is a lot of points. And I know it's the Colts and they're blowing everybody out, but it's still a ton of points to lay in a divisional game.
It is a lot of points. The Titans did look better last week. I took the Titans last week, didn't work. I took them when they played the Cardinals, did work there. So I'm not averse to the idea of this happening. It's just not for me. And I wish you luck.
Yeah. I mean, it's not one that I'm counting on, Yeah. I'm not going to look at that one and be like, that one hit. Yeah. I'm going to be like, this can be a tight one down the stretch there. But yeah, I think it's going to be a game where the Titans can keep it close. That's just me.
So my final pick, I'll take the Bills -7 against the Panthers. I've been the Panthers guy on this show. I've been the Bryce Young guy on the show. Specifically, though, I've been talking about the Panthers defense. They've been pretty phenomenal. Now, the one thing I will say about the Panthers is they can still run the ball. Rico Dowdle has been absolutely hooping, and the Bills' weakness with their defense is their run defense. They're allowing like over 5 yards per carry, so they haven't been great there, but this is where the buck comes in. They are coming off of a bye week. Obviously, they needed to do some soul searching after the Falcons loss. You would have assumed that they would be able to do that. And Bryce Young expected not to play, or rather not expected to play in this game, should be Andy Dalton. If Bryce Young does somehow play, it's going to be a hampered version of him. And the best version of Bryce Young isn't all that great to begin with. But Andy Dalton specifically could easily turn the ball over, could put it right into your hands, set you up on a short field. Bills coming off of a long week, the bye week, 2 straight losses. They're going to be motivated. This isn't a typical spot where you look at it like they're the Panthers, we're the Bills, we don't have to worry about it. No, you went from 4-0 to 4-2. Got to get the momentum back. Got to get everything right back in the locker room. Josh Allen, couple of slower days. He's due for another great game. So I think 7 points, no problem for the Bills.
I love this play. I did not have it on my card, but I do agree with you. I don't think the Bills are that good overall. I still think there's some flaws with the team. Defensively, they're not great. Offensively, they don't have a ton of talent outside of Josh Allen. I still like the play, though. I think it's a good one. The Panthers are not as good as they have played this season. I think Bryce Young's going to be okay, but you can't win a Super Bowl with Bryce Young either. That's another thing. I don't know why teams draft quarterbacks that they can't win a Super Bowl with. Bryce Young's one of those guys.
I wonder when the last time the Panthers were 4-3 was.
Probably pretty long ago, I would think.
Would it be the year they went 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl?
Probably Cam Newton.
Let me see if I can find this. Obviously, it hasn't been in the last few years.
It's got to be Cam.
2020, no. 2000. 2019, they started 4-2.
Yeah.
And they
Who was that with?
wait, am I looking at the right team here? That was the Kyle Allen year.
What'd they finish that year?
They finished that year. What did I say? 2019. They finished 5-11. They were 4-2 to start and finished 5-11.
Interesting.
They ended the year on an 8-game losing streak.
Interesting. I wouldn't. You know what? That's a good segue into our next pick here because we're talking about the NFC South.
Well, this is the final pick of the
show. Well, no, we got NBA after this, but this is the final pick of the football segment here, and people are going to like this one. Give me Baker Mayfield to cover the spread against New Orleans Saints. Spencer Rattler's coming off his first really bad game last week of the season against the Bears. He turned the ball over multiple times. That's not the Spencer Rattler we know and love. I think he's going to be much more efficient in this game, and I think the Saints are going to be very good in this one as well. But I'm looking at the Buccaneers coming off what they did against the Detroit Lions. Nobody has been better at bouncing back after a bad loss than Baker Mayfield. He was horrendous. Baker MVP tour is dead. It's over. It went from 3-1 to 9-1, and it's not coming back. It's Mahomes' award to win now. The Bucs are still, 9-8, 10-7. We were talking about that before. This is one where you got to get right and get back on track. You're better than the Saints. You've played well against the Saints in the Superdome. You have Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans is gone. So what? Like Mike Evans, I'm sorry. He's not washed up, but like he's too fragile at this point in his career. We saw it last year with the injury. We see it this year with the injury. I don't even know if he'll play football again. He might play one more season. Who knows? But the Mike Evans train is kind of coming to an end. You have Emeka Egbuka. Tez Johnson is a legitimate star. He is a star. Tez Johnson, Emeka Egbuka, Chris Godwin, Kate Otten. You have so much talent. Rashad White. Hopefully Bucky Irving can be back. I don't know when his stats to come back is. The Bucs are just fine. You need to fix up the offensive line. You got to protect Baker a little bit more. But the Saints don't bring a ton of pressure. They're going to sit back. They're going to play coverage. I think this is a spot where Baker just has a field day, and they find a way to cover 4.5.
Little scary because of some of the injuries, but I did almost add this to my card, which means that I do like this pick. I would be feeling the same way you're feeling. Yeah, Spencer Rattler, don't think he'll be as bad as he was last week, but he can be better, and the Saints can still lose by a touchdown. I think the Bucs are easily a touchdown better than the Saints, no matter where they're playing, really no matter how many injuries they have.
Yeah, the two-leg touchdown or the two-leg Tom Brady parlay. That's what we'll call it. Two-leg Tom Brady parlay. Patriots money line, Bucs money line, -114. Bang. That's a great one. That's juicy.
Those are the odds?
Yeah.
-114?
That's juicy. I might lock that in right now.
That's a really good one. I'll probably take that as well.